Welcome to the Nomad Newsroom Podcast, the podcast for nomads, hosted by a British duo with an average sense of humor. It's Julian Nevin and Joe Wood.
I love podcasts. Can we start the show now?
Hello and welcome back to episode number 5. I can't believe we're on episode number 5 now. That means 5 weeks of episodes, which is crazy.
It's not. But the thing is, it's 5 weeks of episodes filmed in the space of 7 days.
Yeah, but don't tell people this.
We don't do that.
It's the magic behind the, it's the curtain.
Yeah, that's the.
You just lifted it. You fucked it. I quit.
Oh God,
You're
it's
fired.
like what's her face when she goes down to the yellow brick road and she looks behind the curtain. That's what just happened there. Sorry, guys, but no, it's been 5 weeks of pure pleasure.
It has actually. I think this is the longest friendship I've ever had.
Yeah, me too, man. Yeah, me too. Absolutely, man. It's been the longest friendship, and it's been good. I've learned loads, man.
Oh, mate, we've had a great time doing these episodes so far.
It's been good. Now you're effing off for a couple of weeks or for a month or something.
Yeah, so in 2 days' time, 3 days' time, I'm off to Singapore for about 2.5 weeks to do some photos and videos.
Yep.
And then I come back and I've got some events to take care of as well. So I'm out for quite a few weeks.
You're busy, mate.
I am busy.
That's why I have to get them all in.
I'm quite glad though, because this is like my busiest month in the year. And then afterwards, it's still somewhat busy-ish at periods, but it's my most profitable month.
That's
and
good.
Money is always a good thing.
Mate, money's not a bad thing.
It's not.
Yeah, how do you get paid then? Like, in what method do you receive the funds for your pictures?
All right, taxman, HMRC.
Yeah, mate. Look, mate,
who are you talking to? Yeah.
Who do you
what
pay
do you really
to?
do for a job?
Surname is the Inland.
Yeah. It really depends on the client. If I'm doing this job in Singapore, I get paid into a UK bank account.
Got you.
So still do the boring tax returns and stuff at the moment.
Okay.
But I am in the process of looking at setting up something here in Thailand, which will then change how I'm paid and how things work. So, got some things in the pipeline, but I'll talk about those once they've happened, because I feel like, I'm one of those people that I've realised over time, when you start to say you're going to do this and that, if it doesn't materialise or things go wrong, people just have this weird or negative impression.
You all talk, nothing ever happened. Yeah, no, you're right, absolutely. I think that's the best thing to do. Once it's happened, after the fact, let us know how it was. Because it's never straightforward anyway. There's always something. So that's,
especially here in Thailand, if you're trying to sort out something.
Absolutely always. Yeah, I mean, one of the things, just quickly, how Thailand's a bit different, is that one of my mates got pulled over on a motorbike. No helmet, tattoos hanging out, all that kind of stuff. But whilst he was there was a family of a Thai family on a motorbike. You had mum, dad, son, daughter, chicken, fish, straight by. No problems, man.
Yeah, unfortunately, there is that part of Thailand. We do get picked on.
Yeah,
so
it's true.
It is part of a lifestyle, and nonetheless, just because the locals do it doesn't mean that you should.
No, that's true. I mean, there's a much better understanding for the Thai locals. You kind of have to do that. What I will say, though, is a bit of a tip, is at the end of the month, that's when they do try and get more foreigners, because they have a quota each month of how many to catch. If they're not even close to that towards the end of the month, they just pull everyone.
Yeah.
And even locals, if they're not wearing their helmets, they'll just pull them over. So if you ever ride a bike,
they're a nightmare over Patong Hill as well. That's where they always catch people.
Yeah, it's the Chong roundabout.
Okay.
They always just waving green book at them. It's like, it's all right, mate, don't worry. And like, go on then. Fuck off.
Yeah. Fuck you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
That was going to feed my family tonight.
Because I think they do pocket the money. Because I have been pulled over once, and he was like, "Have you got some money?" I was like, "You know what? I don't. I've only got card. If you accept." But no.
Yeah, just tap here, please.
Yeah, just POS system on motorbike. And and he was just like, next time just get some beers. I was like, right.
All right, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Enough.
Come out mine, why don't you throw a barbecue and enjoy the beers?
So that's what we're doing here. This is the trade-off. I ride illegally, and then you get some beer out of it. But you shouldn't ride illegally. You should get your actual motorbike license in here. Yeah. It's really easy, actually. It's in Sapan Hin. It's called the DLT. Get it sent over there. Really easy. Book it in. Website's actually good for a change, because normally they're terrible in Thailand.
Yeah.
Really, really good, straightforward. You got your license, good to go. And if you buy your bike, like me, you get a green book with your name in it as well. So you just got a double confirmation.
Aren't they making it mandatory that everyone has to do this test soon? I think they're looking at making it mandatory.
Yeah, I
don't
think
it's.
so.
I don't think it's actually being enforced just yet. I think
No.
it is something that is likely to happen.
I think so. I think just the amount of accidents that tend to. I mean, on our side we're quite lucky. Like, you know, it doesn't really happen too much. But that's because we don't have like this club scene. Because obviously a lot of foreigners, they go to the club scene, they have loads of drinks, they think they're absolutely immortal, and then they go out on the motorbike and just crash it immediately.
Yeah.
And that's my thing when I'm actually riding on that side. It's not me, it's others. I'm just really conscious of other people because there are some absolute dickheads that just ride motorbikes. I should not be riding motorbikes.
Yeah,
Man.
I completely agree, and it's the amount of people that come here, and you can tell they've clearly never ridden a motorbike. Yeah, they well, not even that. Like, you know, they can't accelerate without almost falling off, and then they try and brake, and they're like all over the place, and they're not only a hazard to themselves. And to be honest, I don't really care about them. Like I said, I care about the other people around them, the locals. You know, the thing is, the locals have been driving since they were 5.
Literally.
You go to the villages, the kids are playing around on mopeds for fun.
That's true.
No, they haven't stolen them like in the UK, but you know the parents give them. Parents give them to them.
Yes.
They go, here, Johnny, fuck off, leave us alone. Go and play on the ped with your mates.
Play with traffic.
Honestly, they start riding at such a young age. They are stupid when they're young, but I have never seen or heard of a bad story, which is good.
No, not with the kids. I mean, we have Head Start near us and all that kind of stuff, and where we live, round the corner, that's where all the kids, the high school kids, park their bikes. And there were like 4 of them on a bike, you know, on a Scoopy on a 110.
Yeah.
You know, and they're still bombing about. Like, none of them wear helmets. But you know, luckily they're very quite safe. Actually, to be honest, like, they are very, very used to the road, so they're quite safe.
There is a way of driving here.
Yeah,
it's not like driving in the UK. They're like it's a disorganized mess that works.
It is.
It's actually like chaos that works because you just have to be aware of the people in front of you, and you're always anticipating the flow. Once you've been driving on the roads long enough in Thailand, it is quite easy to pick the feel.
You figure it out. It's like the way I like to say is how my wife sees my clothes on my bedroom floor. She sees it as a mess. But when she understands that there's actually a method there.
These are tomorrow's boxes.
There you go. That's it. And she just understands that she can step over what I don't need. And that's basically the exact equivalent of driving in Thailand.
Exactly.
There's no difference.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. That's the best.
Need to get kids on the show to confirm this.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'll just get I'll just get a written letter or something.
Yeah, bring it in, please. Yeah, I want a
bottom.
signature on the bottom as well.
yeah. Well, yeah. So, anyway, so we're getting to today's topic. It's a good one.
Yes.
One that actually did get me thinking, to be fair, because I really struggled with this one this week.
Yeah. Well, I'll say what the title is, and you can say what your instant response was.
Okay.
Because obviously some banter has to come along somehow.
Yeah.
We spoke in the last episode that I was talking to Gavin and Ingrid, two local legends who are very experienced digital nomads.
Yeah.
And I got asked by Gavin, do I think that digital nomads are polluting the planet? And I thought, that's such a good question because there's so many different angles you can come to. So I proposed it to Joe and said, hey, what about if we do for the next episode, you know, are digital nomads polluting the planet? And...
No, episode 6.
Yeah, so welcome to episode 6.
But it was a really good topic actually, because I was trying to see like sort of the negative sides of it and all that, and I didn't quite, in terms of the pollution, I didn't quite get to that point where I'm like, maybe the case, but then I saw pollution as a different aspect of maybe not pollution, but like there are other things that definitely digital nomads have a negative impact on. So one of them being, this is what I wanted your thoughts on. Bearing in mind, he hasn't seen the things I've written down quickly over dinner 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
But I think too many nomads in one place dilute the culture of that area.
Name one place that you're thinking of, because I bet you're about to say the same as what I'm thinking.
Phuket.
Bali. No.
See, Bali 100%. I would go with that. But like because I've been here before a few years ago, and then I've seen it again. I have seen the change in it, but Bali 100%.
Have you been to Bali? And seen what it's like?
I have been. We lived there for a couple.
So you were part of the problem, is what you're trying to say?
I was. Yeah. When I left, it got
at those crossroads
better.
where you literally cannot move a fucking place.
Yeah, in Seminyak and Canggu. Yeah, it's an absolute nightmare. But we actually went to the north of Bali in a place called Ahmed, and I let one of my mates know actually about it. He travels a lot too, and he said this is probably one of the best shouts anyone's ever given him. It's quiet, it's local, it's unbelievable, but then the rest of it is just like, I feel like half of Bali is just a meditation zone, honestly. You know,
yeah, and luxury villas.
Luxury villas, meditation, and a gym.
Have you seen those comparison photos of like 10 years ago versus like now?
Yeah, have you seen that road that goes through? It's like a rural area.
Yeah,
like
the cut-through road, and now all the traffic.
Like, oh, why?
I know.
Why do that?
So I first went to Bali in 2013. And when I went there, Canggu was not a thing. Like, no one ever mentioned the word Canggu. It was Denpasar, Ubud, and Uluwatu.
Yeah.
And it wasn't touristy. There were American tourists, and there was like a healthy amount of tourists, but it still felt like you were,
in
back
Bali,
in the day in Bali. Yeah. Ubud, monkey forest. Now, I went back a couple of years ago in 2019. When I first went, there was no concrete rails, there were no fences, there was no pavement thing. It was just open. You just walked through. It was a forest with a path. You walked through, and you could feed the monkeys. Now they've capitalized on it. They've enclosed it. You pay to come in. And, all this, and that's where. I'm picking on Bali here because I think Bali has been.
I think it's the prime one, though, isn't it? Really, you are right when you said Bali. I was going to say Bali, but again, Phuket just lived here. But you're right, Bali's just changed so much, and I'm not a huge fan of it anymore. I'm just not a huge fan of it, and this ties into it. It's like when I go to Bali, I don't feel the culture there at all. It's like going to Benidorm, or it's just.
It's a surfers town now. You go there, you go to all the fitness classes, you go there for all the spas, spiritual retreats, surfing, all the clubs and bars. It's not true travel Bali style,
No, it's not. I mean, don't get me wrong, the digital nomad scene here is actually really, really quite good. The food's good, like the infrastructure is still really good, but it does tend to do too many nomads dilute a place. Yes, and I know we're talking about pollution, but it's kind of the same thing. It is pollution in the sense of it's just killing out the locality of something. And that's the biggest thing I would say is a negative for too many digital nomads in one place. So that's kind of where I think on that.
Ultimately, it was because of social media. All the influencers flock in there to take photos and videos. And don't get me wrong, I've been there, been to some of those spots, like, I'm here. Yeah. But you never really think about how you might be contributing to a bigger problem. You're not just you're going there to take photos, but they are beautiful spots. And I can't fault people for wanting to go there and have photos, but social media has really glamorized Bali, and now there's a massive knock-on effect. It's actually had such a negative impact, and people are moving away from Bali. And the moment that Europe opened up the digital nomad visa over there, so in particular like Portugal, so many nomads from Bali moved back to Europe. I think that's partly to be close to home, but also for something different because the traffic, you can't get anywhere. Everything is stupidly priced. But if you are looking to become a nomad and you want to feel the success, you want to connect with people, Bali is a great
number one. It is the number one. I think, to be fair, that's a good point. I think if you are starting out as a digital nomad, Bali is actually the one place I would say to go. But I think as you get further into your career as a digital nomad, Bali is the one place that you don't go. If that makes sense. It's great for networking, for all this kind of stuff. It's really, really good. But when you actually want to set something up by yourself, you want to sprout out a little bit more, Bali's not the one. You do go to, a lot of people go to Thailand. It's like the jump-off point is Thailand for a lot of people around Southeast Asia. But then a lot of people always come back. Like they'll go and do a million. It might take them 6 years, 10 years, but they always tend to come back. And I think it's because Thailand just kind of got it right. It's a really good mixture. And because it's so big, Bali's just an island. That's the difference.
And it's a small island. It's probably like probably not far off Phuket as an island.
Exactly.
It's not. The concentration of the amount of people living there.
Exactly. And it's just not the same.
The thing that happened with Bali is the infrastructure didn't keep up and with the demand of travel and tourism. There was a huge influx of digital nomads, and then all of a sudden, people wanted to start buying land and building luxury villas and then opening businesses. And the local government didn't foresee and have time to really react. And that's why all the roads are chock-a-block. And I don't think there's ever going to be a strong recovery for Bali. I feel like Bali has hit its all-time peak. And I think it will go down and it will, it'll level out. And I think it won't be the same Bali ever again where it was that hotspot, because people are now, everyone's starting to build this negative impression of it. And also, digital nomadism has expanded since kind of Bali really exploded the digital nomad industry.
Because
people go to Colombia, they go to Mexico, they go to Portugal, Spain,
all places.
Thailand, Da Nang in Vietnam's it's a very quickly growing.
It's very nice
place
as well. But I think you're right. I think the one thing I will say about Bali is it did really put digital nomad on the map as an actual career path lifestyle. I think when people see that, they automatically see on Instagram or whatever, they do see the Bali version. But what people don't realise is whilst Bali was doing that, there were countless others that were doing it, just not in the limelight. And actually, they were a little bit...
Digital nomadism's always been a thing ever since really laptops came around and people could work remotely. And I think social media really highlighted digital nomadism and glamorized Bali, and it just the combination of all of it really, pretty models, male and female, like jacked guys.
Dude, you feel like an absolute scruff.
An
absolute.
Yeah, mate, you wouldn't last a day.
Not a chance, mate. I had such a shit tan here because I never took my t-shirt off, mate. Honestly.
And you got like proper buff, like tan, like Aussie surf dudes, long hair, running down to the beach.
Everything's slow motion. Everyone's just walking in slow mo with the top off in Bali. I'm like, what is going on?
Shot
I'm
in 60 frames per second.
Kids are just like, like, all right, okay.
Right, babe, put your tongue away. Come on, lift it back in her mouth.
It's horrible, man. But you do have to contend with that as well, But I think it does tie nicely that I do think whether it's pollution or not, and I would like to go into the pollution side of things with Bali actually, and how it's dilution rather than pollution.
Yeah.
But then when you have, like I said, the infrastructure's not great. And I've noticed this on Patong Way as well. You probably have. I'm Bangkok to some instance, but when you do have a lot of people, whether digital nomads, but we can just touch it on foreigners being digital nomads, let's say that. When you have all those people, Westerners, eating steak, eggs, protein, sometimes it just fucking stinks. Dude, it just fucking...
I wasn't expecting you to say that.
Dude. Because again, I was pollution, nose pollution. Yeah, that's what it is, nose pollution. Sometimes it just stinks.
Everyone's just walking around Bali fine.
It's like that protein poo. It's thick. You don't flush.
All those buff Bali dudes, but they stink.
Oh, they stink, guys.
Think twice before dating.
They don't show you that in Instagram reels, do they? Nice cafe. I don't see him on bidet having a massive dump, do they? But that, again, I do notice that in Patong it's the same. And that is what it's from. Like sometimes in Southeast Asia, if people don't know, you can't flush paper or anything down the toilet. So, if you do that, it clogs immediately, and then it becomes a real problem. So then, when you're having more people that aren't accustomed to that, they don't do it.
Yeah,
but
there is a pollution problem in terms of wastage, though. Plastic waste, rubbish, garbage waste. The government are really, really trying to get control of it at the moment, but it's so out of control that, I lived in Bali last year for 3 months, and I saw firsthand how the locals also treat Bali. They do just burn all their rubbish in the piles.
Indonesia's horrible for that.
Yeah, so I was based on Nusa Penida for 3 months, which was beautiful, very quiet, tropical. But you would drive around like a remote, beautiful place, and like the locals are just chucking in their plastic rubbish, and the cancer rate is actually quite high because of all the toxic pollution.
Tuberculosis as well is really high as well.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it's all linked. But yeah, I wasn't ready for that. That's actually a really good thing to mention about more Indonesian than anywhere else I've been. I know other countries do it, but Indonesia was just rough. They would burn in like piles, man. Like not just a little pile. Some of them were huge.
Tires, and it's daily.
Yeah, it's daily. It's just all the time. So that was a real problem. So I think, in terms of pollution, then maybe we can, if there's more digital nomads using plastic straws and all this kind of stuff, then it's got to be burnt somewhere because they don't have the infrastructure to recycle properly.
Yeah.
But so I think we've basically nailed it. We just completed that.
Yeah, and it's also worth pointing out it's not specifically just digital nomads. There are those people that have moved there permanently. I think a lot of people move there because they want to start the new life, and that's why people are now going to Thailand because Bali's too polluted for them, too busy. So it's not digital nomads, in my opinion, are the root cause. I think digital nomads do get blamed because they're an easy target and demographic. It's kind of like for vegans, it's like, oh, you eat meat, you're the target.
It's
you're
true.
the problem.
It's true. But do you know how you know if someone's vegan?
How?
Because they'll tell you.
Yeah. That's a good. I like that.
Where's that drunk it?
Yeah.
There we go.
It's in your head. It
is. But the other thing as well, man. I know that when in terms of like the plastic straws and all that kind of stuff. I know that they brought out these paper straws, but there's shit. Paper straws are worse than plastic straws.
They are.
Because you end up going through about 10 of them for
Yeah,
one
you
orange
do.
juice.
Yeah.
What's the point in that?
Yeah.
What is the point in that? So, yeah, like...
Drink quicker. It's a solution.
Just bin it
guzzle
off.
it.
Yeah.
Why do you need a straw?
Stop being a beta male. Take it out, mate.
Yeah.
Guzzle it, mate. Like, what are you talking
Yeah,
about? You know? Yeah. But yeah, so like they're on the flip side. Well, that does tie in actually with the pollution and all that kind of stuff, definitely. So then it kind of gets me on to the next thing, and with digital nomads, not necessarily digital nomads, but people that move, like expats and digital nomads as well. But obviously, it kind of dilutes the culture a little bit, and I don't want to say it definitely does, but it does to a certain degree. But it's the prices of things, man.
Yes.
Like when you're trying to promote, like, oh, the cost of living's amazing here. But then when you start seeing more and more foreigners come here, you just start seeing costs rise and rise, and that cost of living then becomes not as like incentivized. It's not as attractive anymore because actually it's not that different to somewhere else you could be. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So then digital nomads then try and chase that a little bit. You know what I mean? So I think that's another negative side. Not pollution per se, but it is a negative side of maybe a huge amount of digital nomads or expats that live in one area. They determine the price, basically.
Yeah, you're right. And, I think that's why Mexico, or let's just say South America, there's loads of hubs now in South America that are becoming popular all of a sudden. And I think that fits in with what you're saying. People want the cheaper lifestyle. Some nomads don't earn a lot of money. Not just because someone's a digital nomad doesn't mean they're living this amazing, expensive luxury lifestyle. A lot of people are living on an affordable budget, and because they're not earning a lot, they want to, live on a comfortable salary. That means they're not having to work their ass off in a place that, allows them to live a more luxury or upper class lifestyle.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
So, I think you're absolutely right.
I think the prices. I mean, can you imagine being a digital nomad? Like, let's say you're Thai, you've got everything you're doing really well. I'm gonna go and travel to England. I'm gonna live there for a bit and be a digital nomad. How disappointed would you be? How many co-working spaces do you even really know in England? Like, I've only ever been in one, and that was in Sheffield. There were no others. It was just obviously coffee shops and stuff like that. Well, it's not really a co-working space.
The ironic thing is,
Go on.
The UK, despite us not specifically targeting the UK, I mean, we're targeting everywhere equally. Yeah. The UK for us has been actually the biggest uptake in partners for us at Co-Workly. So if you look at the map for the UK, we've got more co-working spaces in the UK than anywhere else globally. And we've targeted Portugal, Mexico, Indonesia, Thailand, and we have targeted the UK as well as one of the hubs. But we've sent out emails all across the globe, and for some reason the UK...
Desperation, mate.
Probably.
Help us.
Stay in the country. Stop going elsewhere. We've got these nice facilities, please.
It's just a pub with a table at the back.
It is.
You know what I mean? Just a fan, a plug socket on the table.
There's a bed here. It's co-living now.
The Red Lion co-working space.
Red Lion, Wetherspoons,
Wait, Wetherspoons would make a killing.
Yeah, they would.
You know what I mean? Like a pint and curry Wednesdays with a co-working space. That'd be mint.
That'd be hilarious.
But that has taken me by surprise, actually. I would not have thought that, to be fair.
It has for us, because we expected, Bali or Phuket, Bangkok or somewhere to be the most popular. But then we were chatting to my business partner, and we said, is it something to do with maybe the UK is more open-minded to the way that we're trying to adopt things and the way that we're trying to facilitate things in terms of a business aspect of B2B relationship? Do we have a different attitude towards how we partner with businesses? Are we more willing to take an opportunity and see what happens?
Yeah, possibly. I think that it's a good mindset, because a lot of English people, when you meet, like, that tends to be the case. Mm-hmm. The only thing I would say with that is, when you are like a digital nomad, let's say, the UK have got loads. To back that up, you don't just need co-working spaces, you need decent hostels.
Yes.
And England's terrible. So I think if they were to improve that area of, like, hostels, or give some kind of incentive to upgrade that, because trust me, they are dog shit. They are. Trust me, I've been in a couple. They're horrible. So I think they great. Co-working space is good, but if you want digital nomads there, it's not. You don't really get like short-term contracts in England either, really. So you would then look at the hostels, but the hostels are so bad. Mm-hmm. I think that would be a deterrent, if anything, because you do one night, but I can't do this.
It also ties in with what you were saying a second ago about the financial perspective. The UK is not a cost-effective country to go to if you're from somewhere in Europe, like Asia. Mm-hmm. You've got to have enough money to be able to travel, explore, and to live in the UK.
Yeah.
So the UK could absolutely kill it from a tourism perspective and could really,
it could.
you know,
Free healthcare as well. Do you know what I mean? It could be like a real mecca.
Even not just from like a travel perspective, but also an entrepreneur's hub.
Yeah.
There's so many entrepreneurs in the UK. Like so many people have the entrepreneur mindset. Everyone wants their own business. They want to grow an empire. And the UK, like, you know, we could go on ages about the UK government right now, but like, you know, take Silicon Valley or take what Dubai are doing at the moment. You know, Dubai just are inviting millionaires left, right, and centre.
Like, we're not going to tax you.
Yeah, we're not going to tax you, and there's
spend some money.
Yeah, there's loads of other incentives, and people are leaving the UK to make sure they save money. Every 45 minutes, a millionaire leaves the UK at the moment.
That's nuts, man.
Every 45 minutes.
And then you got people who will be like, you know, we need to tax the rich more. Like who? There's none of them left.
Yeah.
Like who?
Yeah.
Like, who do you want to tax more? You know. And again, I don't want people to think that we're shitting on you because you live in the UK. Like, I just want you to know that. As a 36-year-old, I knew what it was and I know what it's become, and it's a real disappointment in my point, particularly as a digital nomad. Because if it was so much more attractive, I don't think I would have still gone around the globe, but I would have really used it as a hub and been like, I'm going to go back.
I did van life in the UK for near enough 2 years. So van life, travelled around in a van.
Oh, sorry, mate. I thought you meant like delivering stuff.
Yeah, I just love delivery service.
White van man, I was like, really?
I did actually work as a delivery driver during lockdown, but that's a story for another time.
Yeah, pizzas.
So I did van life in the UK and travelling all around the UK. Honestly, the UK has to be one of the most beautiful places on earth, because like given the size of it and what you can see, you know, you've got the peaks all over Scotland. Just going around Scotland alone,
that would be like the Highlands and stuff.
Wales is incredibly beautiful. You know, there's like the Midlands, you know, Peak District, the Lake District, some very stunning places. And I think that like you, if the UK was more affordable and they made everything a bit more accessible and they had better incentives for tech startups, I would consider, you know, being in the UK for the summer period for 6 months, you know, spring and summer, and then maybe come over to Asia to get the sun over here. Yeah. And I wouldn't have a problem with that.
That would be ideal, man. I think that would be, that genuinely is a really good point. It's just the UK just hasn't really adapted to that life, really, which is a shame. And again, I do want people to know that we're not shitting on the UK. And I just want to say this is like, I've got a couple of comments where like it sounds like you hate England and you know our life isn't. It's not a case of that. But once you've flown above the clouds so much, once you've been walking down streets where no one knows your name, when you're watching the sunset in a place you can't even pronounce correctly, to go back and then nothing move forward, it's so difficult to do that. And when you've been in your 20s and you've been traveling, and you're in your 30s and you've been traveling, you've dealt with all the accommodation, you've dealt with tax, you've dealt with documents, you've done this, you don't fear anything anymore. And then that's why the only fear you have is staying still. And that is the reason why I say that about the UK, is I just feel like I'm not going anywhere there. So again, I don't want you to think that I'm shitting on your life. I'm not. It's just I found an alternative life. I just can't go back to that one. And that's it, guys. That's all it is.
Everything that we do and we say is purely our own opinions and perspectives and experiences.
100%, that's all it is.
So it's not, you know, I have friends and family that absolutely love the UK and there's nothing wrong with it. I don't have any problem with that. It's just for me personally.
I'm going.
Yeah, but like I said, if there was better incentives, then I would be more inclined to go back and spend money in the UK.
100%. It's all about incentives.
You know,
it's all about incentives, man. Like I said, anywhere. If you've got an incentive, like it's buy one get one free. It's an incentives. You get the other one. You buy
one, you get one free.
I say you buy one.
You buy one.
For anyone in the UK, please comment. You know that one. Like that other one. It's like auto glass repair.
Auto glass replace.
Boom. We're here all week.
Yeah.
It's wicked.
So with that now said, we are
just fucking it up here.
Yeah. Basically, we have to stop the camera every 30 minutes because the rules and regulations and taxes and the camera that I have means that we have to stop recording every 30 minutes.
Just explain that a little bit, because I didn't know that, and it's actually it's a good piece of information, man.
So I have the Sony A7 III. It's a bad boy camera. It's like one of the go-tos, and even now, I think it was released in 2018, even now it's still regarded as one of the best cameras. Shoots in 4K, does everything we need it to do, shoots amazing photos. But they limited it to basically just under the 30-minute mark, so 2 minutes and 29 minutes and 59 seconds
of record
time. Because once it gets to 30 minutes, it then has to be classed as a video recording camera. And it makes the prices more expensive, there's tax implications. This is what ChatGPT threw at me, and I trust ChatGPT on the life at the moment.
You say you haven't had a friend as long as me, mate. You have. His name
a
is
bit longer, yeah.
5.0.
So yeah, with the anyway, you guys now know a little bit more. We're telling them all the secrets behind.
I know, but this is part of
the reality. Isn't
this is reality. So that's a really good piece of information. You can't, anything like that. If it doesn't record over 30 minutes, and you want to know why. That's the reason why, because tax implications on the actual equipment itself.
Yeah.
So anyway, very interesting.
So yeah, just to highlight again, we are not crapping on the UK and people, and it is a very beautiful place. And I kind of do wish the government, or I wish we do have new leaders who see the opportunities that we currently, could provide to people.
Yeah.
Keep the millionaires in the country. Let's not pick on a particular demographic, or let's think of a way to better incentivize things. And I don't know no one knows what's going to happen.
No one knows. I mean, God, we've been trying for 20 years. So, we're not going to sit on a podcast and tell you this is how you resolve the UK. It's not going to, but I'm the same, man. I do love England, and it's my home, and I will always say that. It's just not for me right now. And I do hope it changes. I hope they give incentivized packages for people to either return or just create this hub of actual people who are doing things, not people who are just taking things. People who contribute to society. That is what we want. But everyone wants that, I suppose. So just leave that there. I'm not sitting on you, just letting you know. I'm old enough to know what it was and how it is.
Well, on to the next question. You got another question?
So actually,
I'm enjoying these questions.
It's not a question. It's just more of a thing that kind of annoys me about digital nomads. So it annoys me about me. I'm sure you're the same. But when I'm not working and I go to a coffee shop and there are loads of digital nomads there, I feel like I can't fucking talk. I feel like when I'm sipping my coffee, that's too loud. I feel like I'm irritating people because I'm loud. You probably know on the previous podcast, the mic just keeps popping because my voice.
Yeah, if you listen to the previous podcast, it pops. Actually, you were telling me last time we met how people complain about you being noisy. And literally, as we'd finished recording, someone from the co-working space came and told us to be quiet, but specifically looked at Joe.
Just like they knew. Me and was like, oh, sorry, mate, sorry. So yeah, it happens all the time. I'm used to it. But yeah, the coffee shop situation really annoys me. And then it kind of goes into, is that a good thing working from a coffee shop? Because I know that a lot of digital nomads will buy one coffee and stay there 2 hours.
So this is where I disagree with digital nomads doing that, because these brands and businesses are paying the money on electricity, their bills for Wi-Fi, it's taking up space for customers that might want to come in.
Yeah.
Because you see nomads taking up a table for 4 people and they're just sitting there all day.
By themselves, got wires everywhere, they've got backpack there,
So I think it should be a oat.
Oh, sorry, an oat caramel latte. I've never seen something so alpha male in my life than him actually ordering an oat milk caramel latte. Alpha.
Yeah, I don't care. Don't care. Alpha mode.
It's all about the game.
Beta stick to what everyone else has, right?
There is a black coffees, mate. Yeah, straight on the rock.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree. I think from if you're a business owner, it would be very, very annoying and also very disrespectful towards someone, because you're not thinking about what bills are they paying? Are you taking up so much room? Are you is this business losing out on customers because you got 5 nomads spread out across the cafe?
Yeah.
Right. On the flip side, though, should cafes be expected to better manage this? Should they, if they're getting repeat nomads and enough nomads coming in, should they have more dedicated tables and zones for remote workers? And should there also be either a time card or a minimum spend to be able to stay, a certain period of time? So, 3 hours max if you buy 1 coffee.
Yeah.
And then, incentivize it and structure it for themselves as a business.
I agree. I think that's exactly what they should do. Incentivize it to either stay there for a particular length of time and also create those areas for their digital nomads. Because like I said, that awkwardness of not, if you sat next to a digital nomad and he's on a call, I feel like I don't want to talk because I know my man's going to hear me, and I talk absolute bollocks all the time. So it might ruin his interview. I don't know.
Yeah, but then that's down to the individual's fault, It's like it's no one else's fault. And you shouldn't have to be conscious about what you're saying because someone else might be on a business call in a public environment.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of person that's like, I'm sorry, I'm having a conversation. If I'm here having, if we're having a drink or whatever, there's no doubt that we're going to be belting out laughter. There's going to be banter after banter, like profanity left, right, and centre.
Mate.
like,
level 100.
if you choose to sit next to us, or if we sat next to you and you're in a public place, like, it's not down to us to be respectful, but you're having your meeting and your work here
in a public space, in a bar.
But with that said, I think, I enjoy going to work in a cafe.
Yeah, me too.
But I only do it for 2 or 3 hours. I go there, use it as a getaway.
Food as well, man. I always see what they've got going on, man. I do agree with that.
I think it's just common sense, and I think that's ultimately what it boils down to. Use your common sense. Are you possibly being disrespectful? You might not think you are, but think about it from a business perspective.
Yeah, be a little bit more diligent in what you think. I agree with that. I think dedicated areas for digital nomads is good, but also it's great for marketing. If you're actually able to just capture all these people working in your in your cafe or something like that, then you could use your socials to promote that, and then people will see that a little bit. So then you could tap into that aspect, maybe.
Talking about tapping, so Co-Workly, right? So Co-Workly, we feature co-working spaces, and we are actively looking for co-working spaces, hotels that have co-working facilities that they don't mind people coming in to use, and they can pay to be there or become a member. And we are also networking with cafes who advertise specifically as co-working cafes.
Okay.
So we're not targeting, it doesn't mean that every cafe can register to be featured on the app, and some people might not because they don't want digital nomads working there.
Makes sense.
But if you go on Google Maps, you can see, you just type in co-working cafe, pops up. There's loads that pop up. So there are cafes that do welcome and open their cafe to digital nomads.
Yeah.
For us as a business, it's down to them to obviously manage how they manage that aspects of their business, and I'm sure that the ones that are co-working are more mindful of how they structure it and how they do it. Okay. So Co-Workly will be a good tool to see what cafes in your local area are classed as co-working, and it means that maybe it's a bit more of an even spread, so not one single cafe is too busy.
That's really cool. Actually, that's a really good thing. So what are the requirements then? So if cafes aren't, or they don't meet the requirements, do you set these requirements for them, or what's the deal?
So we have a structured review system, and primarily it's based on comfort, noise level, affordability, internet speed, and the facilities offered.
Okay.
And
they have to produce this to you, do they?
So when they sign up, they provide us with their internet speed. They have to send us a screenshot, and we verify it. They're then categorized. We don't pick on people who have really low speeds compared to someone that has really fast speeds. We do it in brackets so that people that have maybe some difference in internet speeds we'll class them as one, and they won't be shown as their individual internet speeds. They will be in a category, so it makes it a bit fairer, and it's honest, it's truthful. Some people need super fast internet, some people it doesn't matter. So that's one of the big requirements. In terms of whether they have a co-working section, that's entirely up to them if we're talking about cafes. So if they're choosing to register with us and they choose to subscribe to be one of our partners, then ultimately, it's a paid promotion. We're a marketing and advertising platform, not a booking platform. So people or our users can give reviews on those 5 metrics: the affordability, cost, internet speed, and so on. And it builds kind of an identity for the brand. We've just launched our partner dashboard, so our partners can actually log in. They can see all the reviews on the back end, but they can also see the click-through rates on things, if people are getting directions, how many views they've had on their profile. So our partners have an analytical dashboard, and we're going to make it a lot more comprehensive so that they can also use it as a marketing tool to see, let's say, okay, the noise level is too noisy, but I mean, you're in a cafe, so it probably will be, and you're going to expect that if you go there. But let's say internet speed, the businesses can then learn and identify what it is about their business that people love.
A USP for them. I get it.
And where they may be lacking. If comfort for we spoke about these chairs. They're not the best. So if people are going to be there all day and people are leaving bad reviews about the chairs, then
get some
new chairs. It's about creating that right environment so people feel comfortable. They're going to want to stay longer. If it's a cafe, hopefully they do spend more money. So cafes is a separate category from hotel and co-working spaces. So we do accept applications for all 3. We also have co-living, which we're expanding at the moment, and a lot of those co-living have co-working spaces dedicated, dedicated zones for co-working anyway. So we're trying to cater, because not every nomad wants to be in a co-working zone or in a hotel. everyone has a different way of working, and some people do just prefer a cafe. So we wanted to make sure that we cater to the demographic, and also to make sure that we can include other partners that just have a different type of business.
Yeah, like a different offer as well.
Different offer.
Okay, so that's great. Actually, that would be very useful for both parties. Then, so with that, then, out of all these metrics, when you are working as a digital nomad, what is the one thing that really stands out to you? Is like, actually, I like working here because of this. What is this for you? For me, it's aesthetics. It's got to look nice. I've got to feel a bit open, and it's got to be a nice little place. Something like that. Something to keep me entertained when I don't want to look at my laptop. I can look at something and just, zone out for a bit. That's what I like.
I think that's a really good one, actually. I never thought about aesthetics as an individual metric, but really, you're right. When I first walked into this co-working zone, I was like, the graffiti art on the wall is cool.
Yeah.
You feel like you're in a cool, techie, digital vibe.
Yeah, it's like the future of like what this should be. Yeah. It's very hip, man. Yeah.
So I think actually now you've said it, aesthetics.
Are you going to put it on your app?
I don't know, but
it's TM'd me.
Don't let him know. We'll put it on there secretly.
Yeah, I'm just going to log in. Like, hold on, you spelled aesthetics wrong.
You got athletics.
You dick.
So I think second for me has to be comfort, because if you're not comfy, I guess comfort, aesthetics is kind of comfort.
Kind of
right?
the same. Comfort for me is like when I'm sat here, am I comfortable?
Yeah.
And then aesthetics, I'm like, I like where I'm at.
Yeah.
I can get up and can go for a bit of a walk because in town, a couple of the cafes, they'll have grounds, they'll have like a little pond. So it's just nice to get up, stretch your legs, and walk around a little bit. So that's what I really like in.
So on the profiles, the partners, they upload pictures of their venues or their cafes, their co-working spaces. So you do get a visual representation as well. They also write a descriptive bio. So we encourage them to really include as much as they can to really sell their property. And obviously, the better the images, the better better the chances that you're going to have to promote your business.
So would you? So we're going off into a bit of a tangent.
Yeah, but I like this. This is relevant.
Because what I was thinking, on your app, if you had like someone, let's say I sign up, but on there you have, you got them to rate out those 5 things. Where would you rate them? So comfort, number 1, blah blah blah. Then you could get maybe a co-working space that is really highly rated in comfort. They could quite easily then find those people and like maybe reach out to those people.
Yeah, so this is where we need to. So we have thought about all these kind of things. So like a back-end analytics platform that tracks user behavior, so that we can try and tailor the app to the user. We want it to be more streamlined. We want it to be more efficient for people. So those kind of things that would
be really useful, wouldn't it?
It's what every big company does. They track user behavior.
Yeah, true. It should be really good for let's say the co-working space is trying to find someone who really they've been rated. Yeah, we're number 1 for comfort. Let me find out who's looking for comfort. Reach out to them. That'd be great, man.
Yeah. So that's what we want to do. Yeah, we haven't got it built in at the moment. So it's whatever you see or whatever you come across is what's there. Do you know? I'm going off topic, but do you know about the store cards and how they became popular and how they boosted sales back in the day when they first came out?
No, I don't know.
So it's really, really clever, and I find it so unique, and you can use it like in any business. So they invented the store card to basically track people's shopping behavior and patterns. So let's say that Kiz was pregnant again, and
again?
She's not. You're not, are you?
No. Not by me.
So.
Oh no! You just ruined my life. Oh my god! I gotta go.
Oh god! So they track people's shopping behavior. So you would go to the checkout, they scan it, and it basically tells the system everything that you bought.
Yeah.
And the more you use it, obviously you're collecting points, so you're thinking you're building up something great, but the system starts to be able to identify the things you typically shopped for and the things that you might be preparing for. So for example, if all of a sudden you started buying bottles, baby bottles and nappies and so on, it would go boom. It looks like
what's going on.
Yeah, so what they would then do is create coupons or tokens, send them out to you in the post, and it would be like, hey, save 50% on this stroller. And then people would go, perfect. Mrs. Pregnant, we need a stroller.
It's like they knew that we needed this. And it's like, oh my God, how lucky is this? It's not luck. They knew what they were.
They knew what they were doing, and that's ultimately how it all works. Your behaviour is tracked, and it's even now, like on social media, your phone's listening to you, it hears you talk, it's doing the same thing. So it's able to use particular words to go, okay, well, they're interested in possibly buying a car. Yeah. All of a sudden, you're going to start seeing adverts for cars. But that's how it all started, was with store cards.
So I think it's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time, isn't it, really? I mean, but even just like basic level of like, if you ever go to like Tesco's or something like that, or a supermarket, you ever noticed all the sweets and the branded stuff, the really colourful stuff, are always at the bottom? Because that's where kids
are.
That's where kids are. That's their eye line. Their eye line is there. So that's where they put it. So little things like that. And one thing I did watch actually was really interesting. It was about, similar to this, it was like how Amazon track your spending. So when you order something on, sorry, not Amazon, it was Walmart or something like that. But when you do an online shop and you think, oh, it's good, yeah, I get all those kind of things. There was actually a warehouse that has studied what people buy. So there'll be someone stood here, they'll have a teddy bear and maybe some eggs, because for some reason them two go together more often. It's not just someone in the deli, someone there. It's just a range of products where someone is stood, because they've tracked that when people buy eggs, they're more likely to buy this as well. So
yeah,
and some of them are really unique. They're not what you would think. But I found that really interesting as well. So that ties in with what you're saying, because that's what they've done. They've checked it and figured out what people buy with certain items.
I don't know if it's for definite, but I know that the supermarket industry has really influenced how businesses today utilize marketing and the psychology behind marketing, because it's the amount of footfall that every supermarket gets is necessities. People go there day in, day out. So it's one of the easiest places to actually do market research and gather data on people and trial things as well.
Yeah. Busy all the time.
It's like, so I when I worked at Argos when I was younger, we used to put low price point items that were used often, such as batteries, in baskets while you're queuing, because you don't think about going to Argos, or you don't think about going, I need some batteries. Yeah. You're standing there, you're like, do you know what? The remote's been a bit fiddlier. I'll buy some batteries. Or, I'll buy some batteries, because you never know when you're going to need some AAA batteries, right?
Or socks. Always socks.
What do you use your socks for?
It's always based on my spending history.
It's just like you get like a pack of like 10 coupons for socks. Black socks, white socks, long socks, short socks. Baby socks.
Yeah, they're always sold out. But yeah, like it's very, very interesting when you get into it. And it's actually really worth kind of like studying a little bit, just because it's behavior. So if you ever go into something like marketing, it's really good to see how the big boys play it, because they are the one who set the standard and are constantly pushing it to new heights. Mm-hmm. And it's a little bit scary at the same time, because you realise just how much they do know about you. And, I saw one with Tesco recently, and it was to do with the iPhone as well. And what they were doing is they were tracking people's phone to see how far they travel to Tesco and then what they bought.
Wow.
To then see
the distance. Through the digital club card on the phone?
Yeah. It was like, it was tracked, and they had a backdoor into Apple, which I'm sure now, if everyone's aware, like they're doing that a lot now. Mm-hmm. And the government, the UK government, are doing that with iPhones now. They're trying to get into the back door of it so they can access your data. So when you are accepting yes to everything, this is what happens. They then sell your data, your information to whoever, and then they can track where you're going, how far you came to buy certain items. Because then what they then do is they put those items at the front. So then people are traveling longer. They don't need that. You go in. You go and find what it is you need, and you walk around the aisles.
Yeah, that's it.
You get more stuff. But if you just want that, you come and get that. Fuck off, basically. That's what they were doing. Dead interesting.
Yeah, the aisles are actually laid out so that you kind of do lose your way of thinking, and it's like I think they changed it from like a chronological order to a random order, because then you do backtrack, and then all of a sudden you see a special offer on the shelf. Yeah. And it's so like the psychology of shopping and behaviour. Another one I saw the other day, I know we're not really talking about digital nomadism, but we're talking about entrepreneurship and business. It does revolve around stuff you're interested in. If you don't like it, don't listen.
Switch off.
Come back in 5 minutes.
Go and use your voucher, please. I'll come back in 5 minutes.
So the one I saw recently was how to frame a product or service to a customer and how to convince them to buy a product or service. So, for example, like if I'm going to use Coworkly. So if you were to pay, let's just say $300 for a membership or for a subscription package, that's less than $1 a day. So instead of saying pay $300 a day, get exposure on your business, X, Y, and Z. If I said to you, for less than $1 a day, you can feature on the Coworkly app where we target, our demographic is digital nomads, remote workers and teams. We're building the global home. For less than $1 a day, you can feature on our map.
Yeah, so much more appealing.
Reframing, yeah.
It's so much more appealing. It's very, very interesting.
And it's true, though, when you think about those things, sometimes you look at something, you look at a product or service, and you just think these businesses are trying to extort money from you.
Yeah.
But then when you think about what that money goes towards, so Apple take, I think it's 40% of things that come, like money that comes through the through the App Store.
Yeah.
So if you sell something on your app, they take about 40%.
Off,
yeah, something like that. It's 30, it might be 30 or 40, but it's high.
Still, that's high, man.
They do like a startup program. So until you hit $1 million, it's 15%, which matches Google because Google is 15%. Right. But when you start to factor in all those costs, like okay, well, just because when you pay through the App Store or the Play Store, that business has instantly lost, 15% or 30%, whatever it is. And then you think about all the other taxes that they then get taxed on after that. Yeah. So when businesses are charging what you think is a high amount, and then they've got to pay teams and everything. Yeah. It's not until you start thinking about trying to grow a business like we are at Coworkly that you're like, shit. You appreciate why companies charge as much as they do and what they need to do and the intricacies of it and all the tax complications, all the payouts and all the different departments.
Yeah, it's just like everyone's got a finger in the pie somewhere.
Yeah.
It is always the case, but you are absolutely right. So when you are looking at a price, you're like, that seems good. But whoever it is that you're actually trying to help or buying off, they're getting, at the end of it, they're probably only getting like 20, 25%, maybe 30% of that.
Yeah.
And then that's got to go a long way. That's marketing again, and it can be a real pain in the ass. But that was really good insight, actually. Because I think it's
interesting.
It is interesting.
I mean, a lot of people are digital nomads. A lot of people work in marketing, or they want to start a business. And I think knowing all these secrets and the way you can, utilize marketing. I think marketing is the most underrated department in most businesses.
Yeah.
A lot of businesses that don't succeed is because of their marketing.
Yeah. Well,
there's money everywhere else.
And particularly now, because there's so many areas in which you can market. It's so difficult. I think it's like what you said, is that 11-point touch or 11 touch
so
point
thing,
these
right? 7 for 11, so 7 hours of exposure to an individual or a person. Then it's 4 platforms, so 4 social media platforms. You can simplify it with Instagram because you can do Instagram, Threads, and Facebook in one. Anything meta, yeah. So 4 platforms, and then I think it's 11 interactions that they have to have.
Something
7
like that.
7 for 11.
Yeah, but it was really interesting that actually, because then that's how it works all the time. But it was very, very interesting, because I've noticed that with our brand now, it's gone significantly more, getting loads more questions because I'm posting everywhere. Whereas before, people don't know, I was never on social media until 6 months ago. Never needed it, didn't need it, didn't want it, didn't care what you guys were eating for breakfast. I don't care. But now, using it as a marketing tool rather than anything else, I really see the benefit of using it and how, again, the psychology works with things. Why certain reels do well, why others don't.
Yes.
It's very, very interesting, but it's been a learning curve for sure. But again, what we talked about is so interesting. It's something that you would definitely need to implement, I reckon,
Yeah.
So should we go back to that?
Pollution,
polluted.
Yeah, that was it.
No, it's more noise pollution from us guys, to be honest. So, do you think... with more digital nomads and more expats, do you think there is an argument to suggest that it's a good thing, because then when you have things like beach cleanups, you've got schools, do you think you got more chance of people helping clean a beach up because they feel part of the community, like donations to schools and just generally donations of equipment, like when you get better deals on equipment because digital nomad will be there and then they'll leave, so then you're more likely to get a deal on Facebook Marketplace because they're leaving. Do you think there's an aspect there to be talked about for the digital?
I think I think there are digital nomads that are very passionate about where they're based, and they really want to immerse themselves in the local community and culture and show that we're not all the same. You've got tourists and you've got people that want to be here for a particular reason. They want to contribute. They want to help out with the local community. And I think, I think if you are somewhere long enough, there should be a way that you should think about how you could contribute.
Yeah.
Just to show that, what separates you from the rest, what makes you different, and to also keep, try and not let bad tourism and bad tourists ruin the reputation of the far greater majority. It's a very small percentage. So I do think there is some element.
That's something we should do, We should do like a beach cleanup or something like that, or just to clean your act up or something like that. I don't know.
Take a long time.
It would take a long time.
A lifetime.
So that'd be a good idea for part of the podcast or part of this channel, is just showing that you can do this. Because I've always been big on stuff like that. I do help out where I can. And I do tip quite well. I don't know if you do, but I always try and tip well here. You don't need, like the culture is, you don't tip at all.
If you try and tip, they don't take it.
They don't like
it. They don't like it.
If you shove it in the face and run away, they can't do it. So I do try and help out that much, but I do think, with digital nomads, because a lot of them are quite seasonal, they'll buy quite a bit of equipment, can't take it with them, so then they try and sell it, and you always get like a bit of a better deal on it. So I do think that kind of helps locals. If they can't afford something, then they can get it. Or everything just gets kind of recycled.
Clothes donations and stuff. I don't know if there's much of that here. I mean, my clothes are pretty old and tatty now. Yeah. I don't think anyone would.
I mean, to be fair, with our having a kid, we donate everything, man.
Yeah, that's good.
We give it to the school. There's an orphanage school for Burmese kids, on the other side of Old Town. We give them all that, all the toys, everything. We don't throw anything away. We give it away so that they can use it, and they really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Appreciate it, man. So. I think that's a good sign of foreigners, expats, digital nomads being here. That maybe doesn't get talked about enough is the donations, the charitable work that goes on behind the scenes, and it is all the time. Genuinely, it is all the time. You just don't see it. At that part of the podcast where we discuss a travel hack.
Sorry, I didn't realize you were going to start now. Go on, 3, 2, 1.
So we're at. You're doing it to me now. Dude, you should work in a butcher's. You look good. So we're that part of the podcast then where we give our travel hacks. And mine is specific to digital nomads actually on this occasion. So what you want to do, it's not normally crap, this is good, is what you want to do is understand internet speeds, how to find it. So we'll put this in the comment section, in the description, but ookla.com. What it does, it'll just basically throw out how quick everything is. Upload and download. Particularly if you're doing it on your laptop, it'll show you that. So what I've done in the past is, wherever my main base is that I'm going to be working, it normally has high Wi-Fi, right? Because you bought it, whatever. I take a screenshot of that, and then when people are asking me for, like, what's your internet speed, I actually save that screenshot on my laptop. So if I'm working at McDonald's, I'll still send them that. And then that way they don't know. So it's a good little hack, because that is where I will be working mainly, but it's not necessarily what I'm working at. But it just helps you, just send it across. It shows that you've got much better Wi-Fi speed than you probably are working at that moment. But it's always worked for me. Okay. So that's a good one for me. Cool. I think. That's a good one. I've used it personally, so
that's good. I like it.
Okay, your turn then, May. What we got?
I got a couple, but I'm going to stick to one because we're going to try and do one every episode. I think I'm going to go with a long haul travel flight tip.
Oh,
stop that. Yeah, we'll ignore that. Okay. So yes.
Shit pal.
Yeah. Oh, Google Pixel 10. No, we don't. But let's stay on top of it. Right. Okay. So my tip is, if you're going to book a long haul flight and you don't mind stopping in a country, not having a layover, but actually going through security, actually entering the country, going through immigration and so on, you can save so much money on a flight. So when I flew from the UK, peak season, well, it wasn't quite peak, but I saved, I think it was about £500 or £600 on my flight because I opted for a stopover. So I was flying to Bali, and there are no direct flights to Bali. So you can do a layover, which is where you're there for 2, 3, 4 hours. The flights are more expensive because companies know, again, it's a marketing tactic, companies know that you're willing to wait around to carry on your next flight. So I flew with Singapore Airlines, who also own Scoot Airlines. I flew direct to Singapore, and then I opted to stay in Singapore for a couple of days to go and see a friend, and then go to Bali. My flight from Singapore to Bali was completely free. They took away the flight cost because I was willing to do a stopover. And they hide it on their website. So if you go on the Singapore Airlines website, and you go on pretty much all of them, don't select not multi-stop. Multi-stop. That's what you want, multi-stop, not layover. So on the Singapore Airlines website, somewhere hidden, you'll have to have a look. You want to go on to the multi-stop. So you London to Singapore, then it's Singapore to Bali, wherever. Really, and that flight was free, and they do that with a lot of flights. So if you're looking at going long haul with a nice airline, check that feature.
That's really, really good one as well.
But they don't make it public because
they don't want everyone doing it.
Because people pay
premiums
for
not going to give you the
for the 2-hour layover. The downside to it is it's the hassle of having to go into another country, which isn't always a bad thing. Who wouldn't mind stopping off and having a little holiday?
Singapore, that's all right.
Obviously, you might spend a bit of money there, hotels and stuff. It depends on which airline you're going with, but and where you're going to go to. But ultimately, it still saves you a little bit of money.
Yeah.
And you get to have a little holiday beforehand, and then your connecting flight, which you would have to get anyway, is free.
Right. It's free. That's actually really good. Like, I know Emirates do a similar thing. Like they do the Dubai stopover where they'll put you up in a hotel, but you have to be a member of Emirates to do that.
Qatar, I think not Qatar. I recently Qantas, I think it is recently that I checked. No, it can't be Qantas. There was another company. It wasn't Emirates. It wasn't Qatar Airways. What's the Abu Dhabi airline called?
Through Doha and that.
I can't remember the name of it. I can't remember. Anyway, they are doing. If you do a multi-stop over there, so you actually go out, they'll give you a free hotel.
Yeah.
So that's the bonus. So the flights aren't necessarily cheaper, but you get a free stop and a free holiday.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, which again was really quite nice.
Yeah.
We were looking at doing, but again, you had to be part of the Emirates club or something like that. I was like, I'll just go on Skyscanner, mate. Fine. Cheap as possible, no leg room. Get me there.
There's so many little when you think about companies, they're thinking about how they can get the most amounts of money from you as possible. Yeah. So if you were just a little bit abstract about what you might want to do, such as not booking a return flight, often enough, if you book a one-way and then book a completely completely separate booking and book your return flight separately, you can save a little bit of money. It's about convenience and simplicity for you as the customer, which means that you then pay a premium.
It's true. That's a really good hack. Really, really. We're coming out with some fire stuff recently, mate, honestly. Should just compile these and just sell it.
But let's make money off this. Let's capitalise. Actually, speaking of a monetary value kind of thing, we do have the buy us a beer. If you're enjoying this and you're finding this valuable, you can buy us a beer. We probably will go out and enjoy a beer together. But we are also off of the back of last episode with the AI side of things and my travel hack of the KML file and creating a custom Google map. We are compiling together a few local maps of Thailand, and we might even put together a how-to guide, which we're going to release. And I think we were going to charge ask for a small donation, small contribution.
Even if you wanted to pay, you don't have to.
I think it's a donation.
It goes a long way, to help us. But a lot of them are, even if you went on to AI and tried to find, you wouldn't find some of the stuff that we've got on there.
I think also, I made it sound a lot easier than it is. It still took me 20, 30 minutes yesterday to really get the prompt right, to make sure, because sometimes ChatGPT and other platforms get lost in the instructions, and then they give too much information, then the file was too large. And then it was I figured out that it was also the image files it was trying to upload weren't readable by map. So it's not as straightforward as just going, give me a KML file.
Tell me these.
Boom. So, there is some thought process behind it, and that's we're trying to simplify it. We want to give you guys something back, and
a good product, something that you're going to use. So
we need some new microphones. That's what I want.
We need some new microphones. That's what he wants.
Yeah.
I'm just glad to be here. I'm just happy to be here.
We have fun.
That's it. And we've got something lined up as well at the end of September.
We have.
Long Bay.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, got to.
Is that confirmed?
It's confirmed.
Oh, okay. It's confirmed.
So I've got, basically we're going to do some work for Long Bay, but we're going to do a cocktail class.
Cool. Okay, this is exciting.
Oh, mate. So we're going to do that. We'll put that on this channel as well, man. But that'll be at the end of September, I think, when you come back.
Yeah.
We'll give that a shout, mate. But in between then, we need beers. So send money.
But also, more importantly, give us content to talk about. Leave comments below. Let us know, because we're not running out of ideas. We could ramble on for forever about different industries, different niches, different things. But we also want to know, what you guys want to hear from a podcast surrounding kind of digital nomadism, entrepreneurship, content creation.
What do you want to know?
What do you want to know?
What do you want to know? What's in the box? What do you want to know, man? Like, just tell us, and we'll discuss it.
Please, he's begging you now.
I'm literally begging you.
You got his haircut for this.
I know. I got my haircut. No one's said anything, but it's a bit of a mess, I think. But hey, send us stuff through. I'm going to push that on Insta as well. Give us some topics. Give us some questions. More of all this kind of stuff. And then eventually we'll get into segments where we can actually break this podcast into segments rather than you're just listening to us and you can just skip to the bit that you want to go to.
Just like, boom, I'll listen to 2 minutes of it. Thanks, got what I needed. I'm off.
Minute 59, travel hack. All right, that's off. Well, yeah, that's another one done. We'll get another one in, always,
All right.
So thanks for joining us again if you have, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you later.
Thanks for tuning in, you legends. Now hit that damn subscribe button already.